All right, before I present the graduate award in the class of 2016, I have just a few words for the graduates themselves. I stand here for the first time this afternoon in a threefold capacity: teacher, headmaster, and father. It's not a coincidence that I asked two of your own fathers to join me as dignitaries this afternoon. Approaching graduation for the first time as a parent has given me new insight into this moment, new insight into what it means to be a teacher, to educate, and to participate in the work of my generation with respect to yours. And I want to share with you as much of this new insight as I can this afternoon as a final blessing on your path, because it has to do with how the rest of us assorted older folks gathered here today, teachers, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, pastors, mentors, and others, think about you. On the night before his assassination, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave a speech at the Mason Temple Church of God in Memphis, Tennessee. He was addressing the situation of the sanitation workers who were on strike in that city. But towards the end of the speech, he turned to a different, more personal direction. He recounted how 10 years prior, he had nearly been killed by a mentally ill woman who had stabbed him in the chest at a book signing. The knife lodged so close to his aorta that the newspaper the next day reported that, had he even sneezed, he would have died. Then Dr. King spoke of all he had seen in those 10 years: the bus boycott, the freedom rides, the lunch counter sit-ins, the March on Washington, the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I'm glad, he said several times, that I did not sneeze. And then finally he turned to the future, and would that I could say this in Dr. King's marvelous voice or with his intonation, but I'm not even going to try. Well, I don't know what will happen now, he said. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. So standing here now as teacher, headmaster, and father, I can tell you graduates that I have a profound new sense for what Dr. King meant that night. It really doesn't matter with me now, because I too have been to the mountaintop. These past few weeks, I too have looked over. I too have seen the promised land. And all this has happened because I've come to see all of you in a new way. As Dietrich suggested in his valedictory address, you probably think of us who are here with you today as those who are further down the road, out there head somewhere, carrying the fire. You see something in us that is beyond you. That is good and right. And your love, respect, your gratitude, they mean a great deal to us, more than you are likely to fully understand for a long, long time. But today I want you to know this. If you remember nothing else, remember this. We also see something in you that is beyond us. A future that stretches out beyond our own lives. And that's why today is powerful for us. It's because of you that it really doesn't matter with us now. We see in you free purposes, vision, intentions for the good of the world that are like ours, yet unlike. Unlike because those purposes are genuinely free. Because these visions are really your own. Because your intentions to do good in the world will be lived not by us, but by you. As educators, our job is completely finished. And even as parents, our role is changing. It really doesn't matter with us now. I do worry about the world that you will be entering in a new way, honestly. I would be lying if I told you I didn't. It's not that the world hasn't been in worse shape before, that's certainly not true. And it's not that things are even particularly bleak when you get right down to it. But the possibility of a wasteland of the soul that Dietrich mentioned, it does bother me. It seems all too likely. Things do seem to have shifted. I think I can feel it, and I don't think it's just me getting old. But occupying these three roles together here at the end of your education, teacher, headmaster, and father, has given me a new kind of hope in the face of our situation. This hope is no longer in what I can do about it, though I will keep burning fire, as long as I can. It's no longer even in what we might do together, though there's plenty of time for that as well. This new hope stretches out beyond me, beyond us, to what you will be doing when we are long gone. In this hope, I and those who are gathered here today are entrusting the future to you. And that is a sacred trust. The road of your own life will never be more wide open with possibility than it is right now. You may see us out ahead on that road, but we, educators, fathers, mothers, the generation before you, the generation before them, see you one day passing on by us on that wider, longer, single road of time. And knowing you each, as I have for 6 years, I can say in complete honesty that a large part of the reason it doesn't matter with me now is because of who you are, who you have become, who I see you becoming in the future. So I'm going to close with a portion of a poem recently quoted in one of Pope Francis's homilies. This is what we are about. We plant the seeds that one day will grow. We water seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need future development. We provide the yeast that produces far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. This enables us to do something, and to do it very well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between master builder and the worker. We are workers, not master builders. Ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of the future, not our own. Congratulations. God go with you.